17-11. Previously, in the last grand finals, it went into OT. G2 were able to mount a huge comeback and won 15-13. So this map has always been close between these two teams. I think Guild have been playing very well today, considering the circumstances. Even in the loss, they showed some adaptations learning on that Pearl game, and already with a comp change from the last time they played G2, I love to see Smurfette on the Jet here to give them more attacking options.
Juliano could really quell some of the dangers that G2 could have brought in this pistol, but there is quickly someone backfilling. Mimi picking up the Sheriff there. I'm going to try and deny this rotation. Slowing the pace down a little. Glance by her side too. So this cross in mid could be a problem. The paranoia good for one, but not the others. There's still a fight to be had, and aNNja doing everything she can to keep this going in favor towards Guild. Now Glance in response though does quell that one threat that was building, which was her. A little bit of chip damage achieved, but sadly for Petra, she's already down to 30.
Yeah, Petra was super low as a 2v3, so you know exactly why Glance is, speeding up to try and take that fight. She thinks she needs to get at the very least one as they sprint up Catwalk to give Petra a chance in this round, but with the door closed, this is looking like a 5th pistol round win in a row for Guild. It's crazy. What a turnaround from this team to be able to do this, and oh, that's just ridiculous.
Yes. Petra is cooked. Okay, one. Only gonna be one. Ness there. Gonna bookend the round. And Guild, what a different look now that they can pick up pistols. This could change the outcome. Again, I haven't spent too much time looking back on those previous prior Ascend matchups, but if they keep this up, they keep getting this sort of damage achieved during these early rounds they just simply weren't getting. This could close the scoreline even further here.
Yeah, it absolutely could, and I think I'm curious how their attack side evolves, because when they were playing No Duelist, it seemed like oftentimes it was just Roxy sort of like holding extremities, usually out towards B main. There was a lot of this A main aggression. This 1-4 setup, this is like exactly the same way they played it, but they ran into trouble when they couldn't break out into a site. Now with Jet having the smoke dash, that gives them an easier time of sort of forcing their way into a site, but I do think their mid hold is extremely weak, and it allows G2 to play pretty aggressively forward there. Juliano was pushing out to like the front side of Sabrosa often, and that was pretty punishing for Guild. So I would like to see the later we get in, once we start getting some rifles in play for Guild, to try and fight a little bit more aggressively over mid, because that could be pretty bad if they get locked into these A commits a lot.
Trying to keep in mind. So far, 1-for-1 trade. Guild should try and keep this as clean as possible. I'm a bit worried that they didn't note Glance.
Where's the team?
This looks disjointed, Ender. I'm not loving this right now. G2 getting away with way more than they should have done.
You know, it looked like the Fracture idea of just send Smurfette in and we're faking, but it wasn't a fake. We were kind of just walking into tree trying to crunch down. A site player ruins that, and the spike is in absolute Narnia. Like, how do you get to the site? Mimi is able to re-clear down mid. Klaudia has to be good for something here.
Well, sadly, that was dealt with very swiftly. And this is Guild now looking in danger. Ness would need a miracle, and it's not going to be happening. Mimi is there. This is one of the maps that I do love Mimi on. I think she's very, very safe on this map. Safe pair of hands, solid as a rock. Good to see her on that KJ, and she's always been incredibly good at it. So happy to see that, but trading this out, very disjointed. I quite surprised the Guild let that one slip because I thought they were in a better position for it. But again, this punish off of Cat was... it just shouldn't have been this much of a threat. The flash was great, sure, but Mary only good for one here. But again, it was the springboard off the back of that. It was the ball that started to roll because of that. And now they're left with Sheriffs.
And yeah, Sheriff pistol round, go for another fast commit into one of these mains, but like I'm saying, without more convincing mid holds, you are locked into the site. You're trapped. You can't really rotate out because G2 could have taken too much forward space. I kind of like how Petra's playing this, not trying to take an early angle against a potential Sheriff, as the mid player does die, just waiting for a dart on contact here.
Oh, Mimi. Nice bailout there. Will lose her life for it, but saves Petra's. I like the attempt coming in then from Guild to try and punish the player, but the support system in place. aNNja still hitting some big boy shots, though. Gonna have that paranoia connect, so we'll have to slip away for now. Spike now down, and two of them standing. Ness will have to be integral to this one. Can they try and play together, create an opportunity? They can, but it's dealt with. Good trades in the end. G2 get threatened, but come out of the woods fine.
This next one's going to be the big test for Guild. They solved a lot of their defensive problems that we noticed from the previous series on Pearl, I think, even in the loss. But now, how do we show something more than just a 1-4 split? How do we do it as an operator to challenge bottom mid? Because I think the other thing is G2 haven't really played super aggressive in mid. They've just put Killjoy utility down in mid. But now that Juliano has an op in hand, hey, that could be A main, or it could just be peeking out of tree, taking control over Cat. I think Juliano's read may be to play for one of these mains with how aggressively and consistently Guild are walking in to those mains, and that is going to be the read. But I also think Juliano, if I recall, did play a lot backside, doubling up this exact setup with Petra back there as well. And you can see Mimi actually back on Fountain is avoiding any potential KO knives. That's why she's completely out of the picture. She doesn't want her B utility to get shut down.
That makes sense. See what this looks like. All towards B as it stands. So the test will come through. And really, at the moment, it's just Petra here. And with the pop of the ult, fair enough, they can potentially try and play retake on this. Now, the utility will slow this hit down somewhat, but it's this gap in the smoke. Could have been an issue. It's not.
Still Petra back site, though. Gets the shutdown on aNNja, but a couple players coming down lane. Completely trapped here, trying to find something. With a couple players swinging here, 7 bullets in the chamber. She's able to get the 1-for-1 before it goes down.
I don't know if that res is looking possible.
I don't think so.
No, Petra's punished it. Okay, so Roxy and Ness. How much can you do? Roxy, great play on one, and Ness with the second.
What?
And they've made this feasible. Glance now sweating bullets in a 1v2. First fight could have been fair, but now the swing from the second makes it almost impossible. And Guild convert a round that looked a little cooked for a second there. Lovely work between Roxy and Ness.
Ness making it happen again. I don't even know. You're just trapped completely on site. 2 versus 3. aNNja not in a position to be res, but it's good enough for them. And, you know, I think rounds where you have the KO ult, it's a little bit more reliable to force your way onto the site, but good trading on attacking Petra deep towards backside B.
One enemy remaining.
And then I think the way they sort of played off each other here was very nice as well. Very hard for Glance to sort of hold both angles there around Dice as well as that swing from backside. So very losing position, and now that operator in play mid, but it is literally just 1-4s every round for Guild. This is just how they play Ascent.
Something we've come pretty used to at this point. See what that lurk looks like for Roxy as well, considering Mary is taking that mid space. As soon as she's noted, there is a timer on their life. And Roxy not actually taking the bait.
Yeah, that's the weakness of how Guild play, though, is if this hit stalls out and there's mid-aggression, you can run into some serious problems. That time, they take the shot, defenders back away, but now, how do you pinch down into mid? I think that may end up being the call, because they do have Roxy from top mid that's able to peek out onto Cat. Now they can work their way back in. They have some potential late-round options with the Omen teleport, the Fade ult, but it's going to be to get them quickly onto B, and they know no one's on B now. That's huge.
Yeah, and that shot's not going to find anyone. It's Smurfette to break through towards Market. Lovely impact to take Petra out of the equation. Spike can be planted, as it will be now. And Smurfette may be going a little too deep there. Now, it does facilitate a trade, so it's not the end of the world. Allowing that crunch to come through. Juliano now pinned towards CT. Does have Mary in support, but this retake ain't going nowhere. This is good from Guild. So far, so good. Kind of tempering the pace a little on that kind of 4-1 split that we know them for.
The forward position here is insane from Guild, and they love doing this. Like, they're a team that will push into your spawn before they plant the spike. They're a team that will push spawn after they've done it. You know, you're always going to be on guard, and I think a lot of that is the read of this operator that Juliano tries to take a shot, but she is getting hunted down. It's very hard to escape, and there's actually an alarm bot to tell them that she's going to run all the way deep back into main here. That's crazy.
Okay, and again, there it is. Operator gone. Good work. Very much worth hunting down at that point. Take that out. Move that piece away from G2's board to play with. And they're down on Sheriff's and my armor. This is a big reminder, a big call to action for G2 to try and figure this out quickly, because Guild have adjusted. Again, this is always a thing. If you are that secondary team, right? If you are the team who's constantly trying to catch that first place, who's always finishing second, you eye up that other side like your life depends on it, because it does. More often than not, it damn well does. So for Guild, they've been watching this, thinking about it for God knows how long, years at this point now. So for them, this could be one of the biggest wins they could get. So every round is critical to this. Give them a chance at that final map. As it stands, though, bear in mind, last time around, that was the time that Guild really shook G2 to their core. Icebox is not the home that they once had anymore. So, as I said, they have to get past this challenge, past this hurdle. Be careful of this stack that they're coming in towards.
Juliano has knives, goes for the updraft, but Smurfette gets 2 on the entry. Juliano not able to find really anything, and a peek out from Glance, not good enough. Another player falls. Very good work dealing with this thrifty round from G2. Guild come in almost flawlessly, even versus the knives. And it's just down to Mary, who also in a very tough position. I don't know how that blind did not connect. It looked like it went straight between Mary's eyes. And somehow she's able to find 2 kills with just the Sheriff.
And yeah, the pre-fire on the flash, not letting any other threats build from that moment. And yeah, 4-2, this is good. They managed to navigate around that clean enough. Lost a couple of lives, but that's fine. They've got a decent amount of bank building as well, and there's a timeout and an early one for this, and a right call from G2 to hit the brakes a little.
On the actual site itself, A site has the utility, and it's just going to be Mary sort of stuck back on B, but she should be later on the ultimate, you'd expect, unless she's just popping that off of any information whatsoever.
Okay, Smurfette quickly towards middle. Dealt with.
Oh no,
Juliano
that's the wrong
makes
way.
a bit of a mess of that. Head first. Gets punished by Ness.
I think this is great from Guild to work down mid, though. Your Guild have been going for these full site hits. Now with all the site full hit ults, they're working through mid instead. Very creative stuff from them.
An unfortunate bailout by Petra finding Ness there, because they were building up through Cat so quickly. Glance looks dead, yet Glance is dead. This is Guild with some real potency to these hits, and Petra quickly to position, though, up towards heaven. The plant gonna come in. Undisputed because of the ults, and Roxy sharp as ever. Guild 5 now. And this is still looking so good for them. Not an answer really made by G2 yet.
And Guild showing a new look in this round too. This could open up the playbook, because it's very possible, like, there's a world where Guild are like, okay, let's play into a lot of the preparation G2 have likely done, go for our basic default site hits that we went for all during our last game. On Ascent, now we work that mid hit on a pivotal round where all these major ults are up. That's a big swing round to keep the momentum in their favor. And now they can continue adding that to the playbook. All 5 over towards that A site. This time around, though, with the turret to peek out top mid. There is going to be that push.
Nice. Love seeing Smurfette like this, though. Confidence brimming, starting to really take those fights and actually win out. I guess, to me, it really started on that Neon, if I'm not mistaken, on Fracture. Really seeing her find that aggression, find that form, all coming through at the right time here. Finding to come in. And, wow, this retake's not really got too much threat to it as it stands. Mary warded away somewhat, trying to keep their attention, but it's Roxy on flank patrol here as Smurfette handles Mary. Oh, eye up towards heaven, leaving a little bit of space here, but good timing for Roxy to turn around. Head of the smoke, rifle gets picked up, she knows. They're close by and should be maintained.
Here.
Whole squad's on the push to get this final kill. Could have fell back up towards heaven, but trying to find this gun down. Make sure Juliano can't get anything, so it's a 4K for Smurfette to secure the bonus. Or not the bonus, what am I talking about? Lose my mind over here. The anti-eco.
It's early for you. You know, it's still early.
You say it's early, it's almost noon here in Los Angeles, so I don't know if I can
It's
still
that
claim
afternoon
that.
heat. Look, I've got excuses for you for days. All right, it's getting real hot. You know, whew, don't know what the temperature is. Just straight up making it up.
I love
But
it. It's actually kind of overcast today.
I really fancy coming out to LA soon. I hope it does chill out a little bit with the weather. I can't do heat. I'm British.
Well, I fancy coming to Berlin soon. I I feel like
Do you
that
wanna
would,
do a
be,
little swap?
that would be nice.
A little switch?
A little swapsy.
Huh.
No, I want to come cast with you.
Oh,
Look,
okay.
Hypox
yeah,
doing this little PUBG
I know,
thing.
I
I think
know.
I get him out of the picture, all
Ooh.
I'm saying.
Is Ness alive? Oh, Ness found a pocket to play in. That's devastating. I thought that, I genuinely thought that nade was good, and it he just left a little area. But still 4 alive, and once again, rinse, repeat. Gilder in on the side. Juliano, instantly noted, has to get out of danger. And again, these retakes, yes, Mimi does have that lockdown, so they could have done something about this, but she's still working through middle.
Guild said they wanted to tap into some of that aggression they love to play, and we're seeing it there. Good reflank by Mimi to clear out Tree, but now working at this 180 degrees. Can she pull it off? She can. The first kill is good.
She's got to find this final player, and Roxy 36 HP. Mimi's got a time limit on this, and it is dwindling. Doesn't see the player initially, but going to speed up the pace. She notes it, she gets it, and she's going to have the time for this as well. Lovely work from Mimi. That's the clutch player you need at this. If you are going to be put into these post plants, you need someone like Mimi to answer the call, and she certainly has. It's 3 for G2 now. Guild, a quick reminder, certainly not out of the woods just yet, still facing down G2. And I still look at G2 as that side who's so competent on the attack that I want to wait to see how this shakes down. If they get enough rounds to play with, this is where it really becomes that big competition between these two. Juliano here, trying to avoid the nades, do everything she can, but yeah, it was Mimi to save the day. That shot, oof. And you know it's on
So
Claudia, so it's
crisp.
got to be quick.
Oh yeah, Claudia won't give you more than a split second.
Yep.
Once she sees you, instantly locking on there. G2, a lot of light armors heading into this round. Really not the most comfortable position to be in, but they've held on to the lockdown and the null command for so many rounds now. Crazy they haven't had a great chance to use them before this, but so many rounds decided off this initial contact. Smurfette just dashing out, looking for the quick burst hits onto sites. It has been effective for Guild, and this time we are finally going to see the lockdown come in, and there's not really a good answer to shut that off. Timing comes through. Heaven's still exposed a little bit, and they do note 2, maybe even 3 players over towards Tree. Smurfette on the prowl, following the blood trails on the ground. She has an opportunity now to find something. She has been noted, as has her teammate. Continuing the push there with aNNja all the way back towards spawn. They find 2, and now the cross. Mimi deep in spawn finds the trades. That's going to open up options on the retake. 3 on 3 now, although no chance to get the resurrect on Mary. Roxy's positioning outside of Tree could be deadly, especially with the lockdown coming in. She has the chance to get a couple of kills and break that ability. Not over peeking, just deciding to break it and give up her position.
Player standing.
Oh, this is so
Now it all
good.
comes down to Mimi.
Yeah, this is perfect work from Guild. I'm loving the adjustments again. Roxy just waiting late on Cat. We know it, right? We talk about it, that 4-1 split. And to still have so much impact in those sort of lurks that she pulls off is exceptional. 10 to 8, and excuse me, that was Mimi, but on the other side, Roxy 7 to 5, having such good impact already. So, as it stands, I've still got to say it, this is, I don't want to call it early, because honestly, it's still G2. This round probably be 8. If they get one more round, it's still game on in my mind. But by all accounts, aNNja, I feel like this is going the distance.
It's so hard. It's like it feels like it's game on almost regardless. At this point, both teams have shown the ability to string these rounds together. Smurfette on the attack. Already has 1, finds a second. Will she clear Petra? Just pistols. Oh, and they're going a little bit wide. All the kills come through. And this should be the 8th on the board for Guild now.
Player standing.
This is perfect. Just Guild with their hand around the throats of G2, and that's got to feel so good after so long being under the heel, for so long being punished by G2. Ascent, one of the maps that's consistently been in rotation. They've had to suffer this on close games every single time, it felt like, and then just being beaten out. But 3 to 8 is a dominating scoreline.
9 to 3 would be even better. I rewind back to the previous finals on Ascent, and Guild did have an advantage on the attacking side of 8 to 4. Ended up being clawed back and went into OT. G2 won that, went on to go 3-0. No chance for a 3-0 today, but a chance to win here on Ascent without forcing that final map of Icebox. But Guild haven't gone for many mid-round rotations. If they decide to commit to A this time around, it will be into the full force of Killjoy utility and double up over by Tree Room as well, and Juliano's rifle.
And yeah, the ult gets popped by aNNja, but there's still
no.
utility on the ground. They're still going to get a bit of chip damage, but they're in on the site. So it's Ness to succeed towards
How is
tree.
Ness there?
don't
Just
know.
ulted in?
And just straight up, Mimi's dead. Oh, the follow-up! Mary's got Ness! Has seen so little, but succeeds in so many ways. 9-3 on the half. Screw the curse. That is Guild large and in charge.
Sides.
Taking control of the scenario. This is everything they've dreamed of. What they've been working towards. Finally paying off.
Absurd. And Ness ulting back tree right underneath window, I believe playing off of the Nightfall of Klaudia, but regardless, just an obscene position to teleport into. And turning it into a 4K as well. The paranoia, so aware. There's 3 players on Cat, but no trade can come through. The second kill through the paranoia. I just can't believe it. Ness has ascended today. She's always been good, but from the clutches to a round like that, it is just ridiculous what she is doing. She has died 4 times in 12 rounds, putting up 13 kills. And it's necessary. It's necessary to force a game 5.
This could be a changing of the guard if it keeps going this way. We'll see. Certainly not over yet. G2 on the attack. Do not doubt them. But it starts with this. And pistols were one thing eluding Guild. This time, not the case. Straight on in, though, G2 going to get the site to themselves. Yes, there's presence towards tree, but it's not going to really deny too much. Tell a lie. Petra taking a boatload of damage here. And roxi, unrelenting, wants to keep that pressure up over towards that tree side. And the late lurk coming in now. Let's see what impact it has. It's Ness on the other side, which is the worrying part. Ness has been solid. This time, Glance gets it, but the trade's there quickly for roxi.
And Mimi all the way around. It's 2 lurks in 2 different positions. How do you expect this? It's not possible. It might not be in time. Juliano has to get a second one here, but she falls. Now Mimi stuck up in heaven. 1 versus 2. She has to drop or hold on. She has the molly.
She does, but she doesn't have the time for it. Smurfette sticks it. And that's going to get them to 10. It was just a second too short, maybe even less, but it's 10 for Guild. The pistol is theirs, and now they are 1 away from potentially unlocking that final map. This could be huge. This is everything they need. Now, there's a force coming in, though. This is G2 fighting back. They are not going to go quietly out of this game.
The games have been so decisive. Both wins for G2, 13-6s. It was a 13-3 for Guild on Fracture. Looking like similar fashion now, but 3 in A main for Guild. They're able to get Ness deep towards Wine. That's going to be a really good knife, spotting out a couple of players. And yet, it does look like they want to split into this site. Maybe not. Okay, they actually pull back Mary, just leaving the lurk of Mimi with that Bulldog in hand as the rest of the team challenges up mid. But this could easily turn into breaking this alarm in mid to create pressure on B and then doubling back towards tree. But they're still moving forward here.
Certainly are. Powering in. Tommy dealt with roxi all alone. How much value can roxi find from this? Gonna know it's a force now. Gonna spot the Spectre. Gonna take it out of Juliano's hands. Quick trade, though. Petra. Gonna at least allow for the plant. Oh, and yeah.
Huge.
Massive impact.
Leaving that player to lurk so late into the round. They also have Mary hiding out in market. That's insane. Mimi gets that kill. It's a good shot from Smurfette to clear away market. But now 3 on 2, you have to worry about Mimi's reposition back into B main. Sure, she's on 0 HP, but just that angle could be enough to win you the round. Klaudia now gets traded immediately, and it's Smurfette on site to try and win this round. Petra is able to secure it, and the force buy for G2 pays off.
It does. They keep things moving, staying alive, denying that 11th from being etched on the board, but still, it's a long road back. Petra and Mimi doing well. Quiet enough from Glance, Mare, and Juliano. Nothing terrible, just middling scores at this point. Whereas you look at Guild, I think everyone's having a little bit of form start to hit. They're feeling the game, but they can't get ahead of themselves. Always going to be danger with G2, no matter the scoreline, until it's very much over.
Hold on, we have to actually talk about the buy here from G2 because they are monster bonusing this round. 3 Sheriffs and then the 2 SMGs they were able to survive from the previous round, saying we can win this round on our aim alone, but we have to be able to upgrade into rifles in the next round in order to have a chance of making this comeback. It's a really gutsy decision from G2, but I think it might actually be the correct call given the circumstances to make this decision.
Noting the money, it would be... For Guild to buy any more than they did would be madness. So it's a good read from G2, but it is still risky. Like, any pistol can still do so much damage. So G2 better be on red alert by all accounts. Now, should note this, and Juliano's found aNNja. So the site so far is being controlled by G2. Flag planted, Mimi connecting, 3 still standing for Guild. And I've got to say, for G2, I still want this to be clean. I still want to see 5 standing. They've got to keep these anti-ecos sharp.
I think that's exactly what's going to happen. I mean, right now they're playing so aggressively forward, but it doesn't even matter. Juliano and Petra teaming up there to make that a flawless round. And that's a flawless round where they invested next to nothing. Like 1,500 creds per player. That was literally it. So not only do they have rifles heading into this next round, but even if like they win this, you'd imagine usually they might not be able to get a full buy or not be able to get full armor, but this has sort of guaranteed them, as long as they're winning out rounds and continuing this comeback, G2 are going to be in a very comfortable position. That's the type of a decision that could instantly near lose you the game, right? If you lose that round and go down to 11, but it gives them the best odds at winning and keeping Guild on 10 for as long as possible.
Seeing that deep prowler come through might be an indicator to Mimi that there is going to be pressure from B main. But as it stands, G2's eyes are set towards A. That's going to be aNNja. That's going to be Roxy. That's going to be ness. So the heavy hitters here, playing towards Dice. And Juliano's in. Straight away. Looking for a way forward. Where's the second string to this? Where's the next layer? Already, it's going to be the fight on the side. And actually, Juliano wins it. Roxy swiftly through, though.
Roxy!
2 and a third. Roxy destroying G2. Juliano still on a tear, though. It ain't done just yet. It's still a 2v3, even with all of that work off the back of Roxy. And the read here, not incorrect, but who gets the shot? Juliano notes the player, but backs away.
It's a battle between 2 heroes, Roxy and Juliano. What an insane push. And now a chance to spot Juliano peeking out from heaven. Has the head angle, but Juliano gets it. It's all ness. All ness all the time. She's been so good at the 1v2 for now. She has to hold on. And she does it. She gets the first. Spots Juliano. Gets her dropping out of heaven. That's Guild on 11.
And all that hard work set into motion by Roxy. Credit where it's due to find the timing to slip back through by Tree. I'm sure frustration for G2 that it went down that way. Instantly spikes dropped. Juliano obviously too far away to trade it at that point. She'd already taken towards heaven, which is a great shout. And look at the paranoia that was set into motion. 3 players then were hindered by that paranoia that came out. And again, the combination work coming out from G2 is, from Guild is lovely. And Ness at the end there just solidifying the scoreline at 11. Guild threatening now to take it to that final map.
This is it though, right? G2 with the extra money can full buy into it again. All going back to that decision 2 rounds ago. Otherwise, it probably would have been looking at the money, 2 rifles and a couple SMGs or no armor purchases. What a decision though. Look at Juliano just solely clearing through into A main. Spike's still back in spawn, so G2 not committed into this A site at all, and they might have to be Roxy and Ness somehow passing off the one-way. It was a temporary one-way that missed and fell down, but now Juliano still attacking into the site, gets the first, and is quickly shut down.
It's looking like 12. It's a 2v4. It's Mimi and Mary, and they're still by top mid. They have so little ground at the moment to work with. Goes in from Mary, but maybe trying to paint a picture, but no one's really biting at the moment. Just holding for a second, see if that maybe this stack of players will dismantle, but no, they're sticking around. Just about avoids the knife. And it looks like that's the go signal.
30 seconds left.
To head back towards B, potentially to walk away from this A side.
What can you do? Mimi has lockdown. Maybe a decision to plant and just drop that down on site, buy as much time or force them in to fight you. If you can. The door is closed, so now Guild very much aware of what's going on. The Molotov misses. It bounces down onto site. The Seize is in with 7 seconds left. Mimi has to commit into the plant, but it's a 1v4 now.
Mimi
It's
knows
just not
she's in
gonna happen.
danger. No, not a shot at it. Klaudia is there, and Guild looking like 12 is inevitable now. Map 5 on the horizon. One more round to do it, and G2, they're finally being pressured. Finally.
Match point.
And Pansy, Guild have never gotten to play a game 5 versus G2. in the finals. It's been 3-1s and 3-0s exclusively. They have never gotten to beat G2 on Ascent here. They've gotten close, right? They've been on 12 before, and G2 clawed it back for a tie into OT that they lost. Now, 7 chances to make this happen. 7 chances to force onto Icebox, a map they just won, and to upset G2 for their first time ever.
What a time to do it. Grand finals, already meeting in this tournament once, suffering the same results time and time again. And up against them, G2. Shaken to their core here. 5 is all that they've managed to garner. With Juliano leading the pack towards middle. Now, aNNja's going to note that. They should note what's coming their way, and you can see them slipping slightly deeper towards that B side with 3 players on it now. Petra quick to it, and Smurfette all too aware now. It's the one way up, and aNNja just destroys Juliano. It's Petra with 1, but it's only gonna be 1. As Glance and Mary once again so disconnected from this. The double stack on short still stands. It's a dastardly duo, only good for 1, but it's roxi on the trade. And this is the dream scenario for Guild. Finally hitting their form in the grand finals, finally getting the full 5. Unless Mary can truly pull off a miracle here. 3 players to navigate past, 2 ults ready to be invested, still with a flash on aNNja. So much stacked against her here.
The new player for G2 as well. Both teams making 1 change coming in here. If she were to keep it alive for G2, could you even imagine the elation of that moment? The plant comes in, Guild very much aware. The decision has to be an aggressive one. It has to be to push forward and find a fight before there's an opportunity to be traded. Gets the damage down onto Klaudia, but now everything is coming at her.
She's noted all 3 players. The decay is in effect, but she can try and back away, try and find a new angle to play from. The underhand flash, does it catch? It does!
She got it!
Mary's still alive! And a 1v1 begins. Klaudia down low on HP, 22 to be precise, but it's still Klaudia. One of the best
She did it!
Gets bested by Mary, the young gun in this, coming in and keeping G2 alive.
Mary had to join G2, the best team in EMEA Game Changers. She had to replace one of the most legendary players in Zaz as well. With their teams back against the wall. With Game 5 on the horizon in a 1 versus 3, Mary shows up to get the job done. It couldn't be better than that. Countering it out with the utility, it's just perfect. 2 pieces of utility, 2 kills, and then the third, just a straight up fight that she wins out.
That could be the fuel to the fire. It also could just be a glimpse of hope before the darkness hits. We'll see. roxi ready to be challenged, has been good for it throughout this game. Joined by Ness mostly. That combination truly deadly. G2 fall away from it.
You talk about a new addition absolutely demolishing Ness. Oh my god. She's been on fire today. What a beast. The clutches, the multi-kills, the lockdown of this A site. It's been fantastic. And now Guild on 12, playing full retake over towards that B site. They do have the lockdown to work with if they so choose.
Still waiting.
And they're gonna learn, yes, B main presence. And here comes the hit.
Claudia, what do you do with this? Yeah, has to respect it, has to fall away. It's full retake. Let's look at the post plants as well. Anything interesting about it? Nothing so far. All par for the course. And plant comes in. Ults to work with. roxi, Smurfette, Ness. They've got plenty to invest if they want it. Petra's got hers. Mimi's got hers. So there's ults on either side if they start feeling that real scrutiny, that pressure start to hit. The Guild need to get a wiggle on now. Trying to combine utility towards stairs. Finds nothing for it. Stacked towards the site. It's all coming in now. There's that lockdown invested. It's put a time limit on this now. They have to get a move on.
Mary
again!
Oh,
Just nail up in light. She can't avoid it.
Perfection. Solo playing B main. She pop flashes out, swings off it, and finds 3. She is feeling it now. 2 rounds in a row. Absolutely locking it up for G2. And Guild, they can taste it. They can taste that game 5, but you look at that swing right there, looking at the back of 5 players' heads, and swings out with Juliano. It is just perfection on the retake. Now Guild locking it down, saying, no, it's just going to be light by here. Some marshals, some sheriffs, some mid-aggression. And we'll try again the next.
Started at 7 chances. Starting to dwindle slightly, but it's certainly not panic stations yet. I need to play with the guild. Lovely timing on the flash. Very nice. Mary reading the game very well here. You saw Smurfette was tucked up towards middle. He's going to get the benefit of that. Does get a rifle. Does she get to keep it? So far, yes, absolutely she does. Tries to avoid the paranoia, and that's in case that came through. Didn't connect regardless. So Smurfette could actually be a huge problem here. Quick trade for Glance. Might have kept this in hand, and yes, Glance leveraging this round forward.
You can never count Smurfette or Juliano out of a situation like that. Smurfette either, but that's going to leave the B site completely open. aNNja does have a rifle in hand, but there's just too much working against her, I feel. The alarm bot will sell her position.
Spike planted.
Working back through B main, and then there's still a flash in Mary's hand. So the second this one gets primed, we're going to wait out, get a pop flash and a double swing, and there's almost no chance for aNNja. Not even necessary. aNNja just holding the angle. Gets that kill, and G2 just need 4 more rounds.
Here's the buy, though, right? Here's the next biggest hurdle they're going to be presented for G2. If they want this comeback, this is the biggest round to get over, or one of the bigger rounds, because there's that full buy-in effect. Now, yes, there is 1 light armor on Roxy, but that's just so she can get that utility still, get Tommy, get everything she needs, you know, really be ready for this one. Operator on Smurfette as well. What did G2 have for us here? This could be do or die for them. Potentially keep their hope alive in this map for a chance of OT, for a chance of potentially winning out in 3. This is the hurdle to get over.
Oh yeah, looks to me like G2 maybe play quick up towards mid. I was expecting maybe trying to break that alarm. Instead, it will just convert into an A split at the end of the day. Once these smokes go ahead and time out, we're able to close the gap off of their own. Now 2 in A main, and the Spike making a long trek back over to join with her teammates. But now Juliano stepping forward. She's been able to close the distance. Roxy, not really an opportunity to peek through that smoke, but she's going to take that opportunity very, very soon. Stuck backside ness with smoke in hand. G2 have 2 to open the round.
How have they done this? This was the site they were struggling at. A was the site they just could not find impact on. It was Roxy, it was Ness, it was everyone pouring it on thick. And now Klaudia trying to do a little bit of damage, but only going to get 1. Has to eventually
save.
respect it. And they're back in. That operator is too valuable. Plan's going to come in.
Even peeking for that when it was 3v5, I think it may have been too much. With the op in hand, very unlikely you have the chance to swing that around, and you have such a buffer. It's better to make sure you have, at the very least, 3 guns going to the next, even if the rest of your teammates are going to be saving. And did you make that call slightly delayed, albeit? And G2 have just been very creative with these different looks. Again, all things considered, with that cat smoke, your guard, or a guild rather, casting too much NA Valorant. Your guild, you're expecting it to be a little bit more pressure up towards mid, maybe a split into B, but it very quickly turns into that A hit, and you were just simply not prepared. You saw Ness caught with the smoke in hand. That was absolutely devastating. The speed at which Julian was able to blitz her way into the backside. Ness was not ready.
And again, the brazen nature of going for that AP. So after being somewhat dismantled going up cat, you saw that combination between Ness and Roxy consistently being a problem. This should be a guild timeout to try and address what they've been after.
I think the most important thing, guilds are probably going to try and fight forward with this op early, but the most important thing is that this op survives into the next round. Smurfette will be able to buy a rifle regardless, but one thing I'd actually love to have seen them identify during the pause is that Ness has ultimate. So if Ness literally puts herself in a position to full save, even in the event that Smurfette is playing forward like she is now and dies, there's the possibility of retrieving that op in the late round, simply with that ultimate. And finding that, because I think that op is one of the most effective tools Guild are going to have at shutting down these site hits, and especially shutting down this mid aggression that G2 are opting into for quite a few rounds in a row now.
Let's see. Can they find these two both towards the B site? Any indicators, they'll instantly turn away. do they clear this angle? Very. Absolutely none the one. aNNja delivers it. Bullet to the back of the brain. The rifle recovered. They need to pick up the pace now towards Tree. A little bit of chip damage there. Team damage. roxi outdone though. Better position from Juliano. Starting to become dominant here. But the problem is this A main pressure. It buys time for rotation. And here's the flank. Klaudia with that rifle. Just eyes them up. It's one and it's not going to be any more. A quick trade out. Operated out. Online. Ready to be in full effect. Smurfette.
And the spike! The spike down in Rosa, Glance teleports over to recover it, and somehow, just obscene that she's able to find that kill. Still Ness on Catwalk. She's been so good today, but the timing is good. Just 12 seconds, and they must get past this operator. There's a TP in. It's over. It's over. The game is over. There's no time.
Can't do it anymore. Try as they might. It matters not. Guild finally breaking back in against G2. We are going the distance. Truly deserving. Guild worked damn hard on that. That was the map of their life, and now they have to do it all again on Icebox. Run it back again, the final map in this best of 5.